Welcome once more, ladies and gentlemen, to my open house of horror, and to a certain place that literally makes the flesh crawl. Today's story is number 12 in my series, and the number 12 is one that has significance in several religions. In the West, it is the day of the visit of the wise men to Jesus. In Christianity, there are the 12 disciples. Today, you will be asked to consider the importance of the lamb in religion. Some years ago, I wrote a column for a popular gastronomic magazine. I would visit clubs and restaurants to report on their cuisine, their standards of courtesy and their presentation. I was enjoying a love affair with food. There was one restaurant, though, that I never visited, and that was my good fortune, as you shall discover. People would visit, men, never women, and then go away. But they always returned. It was a haven, a place apart. Oh yes, they always returned. For this was Spiro's.
Well, to be frank, Costain, I'd be grateful for your company. You look puzzled. What have I said?
It's just that I've worked for you for some years now, and...
You have another engagement? A young lady of your acquaintance, perhaps?
No. It's not that, Mr. Lafleur. I didn't mean to
can promise you the experience of a lifetime. Uniquely different. But, of course, you must judge that for yourself. When you enter Spiro's, you simply leave the insanity of the day behind. You're restored in spirit, not by opulence, but by dignity. It satisfies a yearning, not in the mind, and still less in the heart, but somewhere deeper inside. A feeling of hunger for an experience at which, at this precise moment, you can only guess. But I see you think I exaggerate.
Mr. Lafleur, I am very grateful for your invitation, and I'm genuinely looking forward to the evening.
You will look back on it, too, Costain. I can assure you of that. Thank you, cabby. Stop on the corner, will you? You'll see the place in a moment or two, and I'm sure it will not be what you expect. It has no pretensions, Costain. It brooks no compromise with the times in which we live. Still lit by gas jets, would you believe? With the same furnishings, the same Sheffield cutlery. That's why I choose to walk this last part, rather than arrive by taxi. During the walk, I feel I move from one world to another, to a place of unashamed devotion.
You make it sound more like a cathedral than a restaurant. Why have you invited me especially?
I've always thought you were the only other person in the office who really seemed to have any appreciation of good food. And wonderful though dining at Spiro's is, the pleasure is heightened by having someone with whom to share the experience. Oh, incidentally, there are no women there. The tables are occupied by men only.
It had occurred to me I might bring Anne at some time.
Oh, no, old chap, I'm sorry, that's just not on. Unwritten rules, you see.
I see.
And here we are. Now, careful of those steps in the dark.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Marcus. Good to see you again. The alcove table, if we may.
Certainly, sir.
Tell me, is the special being served this evening?
I am so sorry, sir. Regretfully not this evening.
Oh, dear, and after waiting so long, it's been a month. I was hoping to show my young friend here
You
some...
understand the difficulties, sir.
Yes, sir, of course. Alas, Costain, I had hoped to introduce you to the finest example of Spiro's culinary talents, but Unfortunately, it's not on the menu.
What menu would that be exactly? We don't seem to have...
Do you wish to be served now, sir?
Thank you, Marcus.
You ordered in advance?
Well, I'm afraid Spiro's offers no choice whatsoever.
Oh.
You will eat the same meal as everyone else in the room. Tomorrow evening, of course, there will be something entirely different, though still with no choice.
It's a funny way to build a reputation for good cuisine. I mean, not all customers share the same taste, surely.
Under some circumstances, rare perhaps, I believe it is possible to be sure of everyone's taste for one particular thing.
The special.
You find the idea amusing, even a little arrogant, perhaps. Well, so did I in my turn, but you have yet to experience it.
Well, I can see what you mean. There's hardly an eye off the plate. Do people come here solely to eat?
Do you see much else? Or hear much else?
It just seems a rather strange...
It's not strange, Costain. Select. Unique to this establishment, in fact. Even now, as we talk, we do so only as a concession to the fact that you are my guest, a new visitor, as it were. That is why we sit at this alcove table. Our conversation will not disturb at this distance. Perhaps now the unspoken taboo on lady visitors is more plausible, eh? This is not a place to entertain anyone but yourself, Costain. Well, do you agree with me now?
To my complete astonishment, I have to say I do. It really was delicious.
Now you're beginning to appreciate, perhaps, the value of the unexpected. Eh? The element of choice being taken out of your hands. And think of the ease with which the kitchen can be run. We have a single chef bringing all his talents to bear on one task.
You've seen the kitchen?
Unfortunately not. Spiro, not unnaturally, sees that domain as his holy of holies. No one is allowed to cross the sacred portals. I must admit, it has assumed an almost obsessional fascination for me.
Has no one seen inside?
It's difficult to say. No one would talk about it, you see. It's not done.
Another unwritten rule? You know, Mr. Lafleur, despite what is obviously an excellent cuisine, this place is really very, well, eccentric, don't you think? I mean, I know it's a club and all that, but this Spiro character...
Mysterious, the word you used earlier, I think. Yes, you're right. He is mysterious, but no less an excellent host for all that. But I think you might well find, if you join me here often, that this place, as you call it, has a way of becoming very attractive indeed.
Anne? Look, Anne, I'm terribly sorry I'm not able to come. Yes, I know. I said I'm sorry. It's only the second time, Anne, that's all. Well, it's to do with business. No, I can't explain. Not on the phone. It's just that I... Anne?
God, Lafleur, this is superb.
I told you, the palate must always be uncluttered.
They bit into the damp, yielding flesh, slowly and thoughtfully, as if analyzing the intricacies of a piece of music. The range of taste was extraordinary, from the pungent nip of the crisp outer edge to the peculiarly flat, yet deeply satisfying ooze of blood, which the pressure of the jaw forced from the half-raw interior.
Well, was I telling the truth about this place? Or was I not? Own up, Costain.
How do they do it?
And this is only part of the story, my friend. Remember, we have yet to experience the special menu. What you've eaten tonight is nothing compared to that.
I find that hard to believe. What's it going to be? Nightingale's tongues, a fillet of unicorn?
A select portion of the rarest sheep in existence. Named after the species, in fact. Lamb Amirstan.
Can't say I've ever heard of it, frankly.
Desolate little spot. On the border between Afghanistan and Russia. From the odd remark dropped by Spiro, I gather that it's little more than a plateau, but on that plateau is the most superb sheep grazing in the world.
Which is presumably why you keep dragging me along, I imagine.
And as you needed much dragging of late.
But surely Spiro could let us know when he receives a consignment, and we know when to turn up.
The word might get out. No, Spiro, quite rightly, in my view, feels that the dish must be kept for his regular patrons alone. And even then, as a surprise. Besides, you are not yet at the beck and call of your palate, Costain. You still have other attractions. No?
I don't think I shall be seeing Anne again.
Really?
Well, it didn't work out. Not in the way I thought it might. All of a sudden, I
started coming to Spiro's. No further explanation is necessary.
Well, there you are. Do you mean to say that these few people here, a dozen or so, are the only ones who know this place exists at all?
Absolutely.
That's incredible. Well, people talk, after all.
Not at Spiro's, and still less outside. Every patron makes it his solemn obligation to keep the secret. By accepting this, your third invitation, you automatically assume that obligation. I trust that is clear, Costain.
Are you serious?
I have never been more serious.
Oh, you never fail to surprise me, Lafler. This area is an absolute warren of surprises, in fact.
I often come here after a meal, sometimes even before. It's a wonderful preparation, I find. Tones the flesh. You see, this is a classical bathhouse, my friend. The water is run gently over preheated stones. Few know the place, of course.
That seems almost to be a rule in this part of the world.
More reserve than secrecy, you know. Something you will come to appreciate even more when you become a full member of Spiro's.
When will that be?
Well, not long. I know he's casting a warm eye in your direction.
How did you first find Spiro's?
Oh, well, like yourself, I was introduced by a friend. Some years ago now.
Is your friend still a member?
Officially, yes, I suppose he still is. He went on a trip up the Amazon or some such place. Never heard of since. But yes, I suppose he could still be considered a member.
Good evening, Marcus. Nice to see you again.
And what have you got for us tonight, eh?
Tonight is special, sir.
My God, did you hear that, Costain? Tonight is special.
Lamb Amirstan?
Hurry away, Marcus. You'll have two demented customers on your hands if we're not served immediately.
Sir.
This is it. You're apprehensive, aren't you?
Does it show that much?
A decade ago, I felt precisely the same thing. My first Lamb Amirstan. Can you imagine it? Prepare to slaver over your food, Costain, and without shame.
Mr. Lafler and friend, I am so pleased, so very, very pleased. No, do not stand. I have come to tell you that the Lamb Amirstan will be an unqualified success. But I see your friend does not know me.
Oh,
an introduction, perhaps?
Mr. Spiro, Mr. Costain, a good friend and associate.
How nice to meet you, Mr. Costain.
How do you do?
You have visited us on the best evening possible, no? All too few get the chance to experience the Lamb Amirstan so soon.
I see old Stanton is missing tonight. Regular as clockwork and then stays away on the night.
Oh, it is regrettable, of course, but each in their turn, Mr. Lafler.
Yes, indeed.
I can assure you, you have a great treat in store, Mr. Costain.
Costain's been dining here for over 2 weeks, Spiro. Huh? He's by way of becoming a great admirer of yours.
I can honestly say I've never tasted food quite like it.
Oh, a great compliment. You honor me with your presence, and I return the same with my food. Huh? But the lamb Amirstan is far superior to anything you have so far experienced, Mr. Costain. Far superior.
Well, there's something that puzzles me, Mr. Spiro, if you don't mind me asking. Why is it that you keep such a superb restaurant purely for so few people? Surely it would be better to open to the general public.
It is simply a matter of privacy, you see. Here, no one inquires of your affairs. No one desires to know the intimacies of your life. Here, the business is solely eating.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
Oh, no, not at all. You are not prying. On the contrary, I invite your questions.
Watch out, Costain. Don't let the old bully intimidate you. I've known him for years, and I can guarantee that his bark is far worse than his bite. Now, before you know it, he'll be showing you all the privileges of the house. Outside of inviting you to visit his precious kitchen, of course.
Oh, but for anything else, I am entirely at his service.
What did I tell you? Now, let's have the truth, Spiro. Has anyone outside of your own staff ever stepped inside that kitchen of yours? Eh?
Your meal arrives, gentlemen. Before I take my leave, I must see what Mr. Costain thinks of the famous lamb Amirstan. A mere taste, my friend, to please your host.
Good God.
It is perhaps better than you imagined, huh?
It's impossible to describe.
It is said that when a man catches a glimpse into his own soul, he finds it quite impossible to describe. Like lamb Amirstan, no?
Perhaps, but I'd hardly like to build an entire faith on a lamb casserole.
You have insight, Mr. Costain. But sometimes, when you have nothing to do, turn your thoughts to the place of the lamb in religion. It will prove interesting, I think. And now, I have kept you long enough from your dinner. I was most happy to meet you, as I am sure I will again. Au revoir, gentlemen, and bon appétit.
Thank you.
Do you think I offended him?
Offended him? He loves that kind of talk. Lamb Amirstan is a ritual with him. Just remember to savor every morsel, my friend. After all, no one knows when it will next be served.
Oh, it's getting worse, if anything.
We should have waited for a cab.
It's only around the corner now.
What the hell was that?
It's by Spiro's. There's someone on the ground.
Oh, come on, let's help. Right.
Help, sir. Please. Oh, it's old Marcus, isn't it?
Get his other hand.
Oh, how bad are you, old chap? Oh. I think we ought to get the police.
No, sir. No police, please. Mr. Spiro does not want such. You understand, sir?
Yes, of course, but what on earth was it all about?
That man, sir. He make a most erratic way while walking, and with no meaning, I accidentally push against him. Then he attacked me, saying I was to rob him.
Was he drunk?
Very sorry.
Civilized man in all his glory, eh? Now, you go and get yourself attended to, and if Spiro has any questions, send him to me. I'll sort it out.
Oh, to you, sir, I owe my life. My life.
No need for all that. It wasn't anything.
If there is anything I can do for you,
You
sir.
just go and get yourself cleaned up like a good chap. That's the best thing all
Thank you,
round.
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can get quite emotional at times, these foreigners. Anyway, that's what alcohol can do, you see. Brings out the worst in man. His innate savagery.
A happy man rarely needs the consolation of the bottle.
Why then do we both sit here night after night waiting on our meat? Not simply out of natural hunger, but because our baser instincts cry out for some appeasement.
Which reminds me, isn't it about time it was on the menu again? It's been over a month
I
since
am sorry, sir. No special this evening.
Back in harness, eh, Marcus? Good chap. How are you feeling?
There is no longer problem, sir.
And we're very glad to hear it.
Well, whatever you have then, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
It'll probably be my luck to miss out on it next time, too.
Why do you say that?
Well, I'm off to South America for a surprise tour of inspection. Lord knows how long it'll take.
Are things that bad down there?
Well, they could be better.
I haven't heard a word of it around the office.
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise tour if you had. Nobody knows about it except myself. And now, you, of course. Now, I want to walk in on them completely unsuspected. Find out what they're really up to down there. As far as the office is concerned, I'm simply off on some jaunt somewhere. Long holiday, perhaps. Anyway, the business will be in good hands. Yours among them.
Mine?
When you go in tomorrow, you'll find that you've earned yourself a promotion.
You're leaving tonight, then?
Well, I've been trying to wangle some reservations. If they come through, well, tonight's meal could be in the nature of a farewell celebration.
I shall miss our dinners together.
Nice of you to say so, Costain. I've enjoyed your company, too. Got fed up with being on my own. To tell the truth, I put off my departure a whole week, hoping that I'd strike a lucky night. But I can't wait any longer. So, when you're sitting over your next special, don't forget to think of me. A meal to send a man on his way, eh? There's just one thing I wanted to...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what is it, Marcus? I would prefer it if you didn't keep hovering, if you don't mind.
My life. I owe it to you, sir. I can repay you.
Look, I told you to forget all that. You owe me nothing.
By the name of your God, sir, I will help you even if you do not want. Do not go into the kitchen, sir. What? I trade you my life for yours when I speak like this. Tonight or any other night of your life, do not go into the kitchen at Spiro's.
What's all this about?
What is all what about, gentlemen? Perhaps I can help.
Well, Marcus here seems to think Mr. Lafleur shouldn't be allowed in your kitchen.
As far as I know, I've never even been considered for the honour.
You are on the wrong table, Marcus. See that it does not happen again.
Sir.
The good man was giving you advice in all amiability. It so happens that my too emotional chef heard some rumor that I might let a guest into his precious kitchen. Such a rage, gentlemen. He even threatened to give notice on the spot. Fortunately, I succeeded in showing him what an honor it is to be paid a visit by such an esteemed patron as your good self. And now he is quite amenable. It was to be a surprise, Mr. Lafleur, for your going away from us.
You mean I am actually to be allowed? I am to be allowed to watch the food being prepared?
And for you, yes, it is to be so. I regret, however, because your young friend is still a relative newcomer to our small circle.
I understand perfectly, Mr. Spiro. Well, as it happens, I have an early engagement this evening and must be on my way. Perhaps when I am a patron of 10 years' standing, you might consider letting me see the kitchens too.
You can be certain, Mr. Costain. On that you have my word.
Goodbye, then, Lafleur. Have a safe trip.
The journey across the floor towards the doors of the kitchen were to Lafleur like a journey to a world beyond. All the hopes and desires of his past years at Spiro's rose up to be fulfilled. Spiro took his arm lightly, both host and guide, a soft smile. The doors opened, and Lafleur crossed the portal.
The kitchen, Mr. Lafleur. The place you have always wanted to see.
Yes. Everything is so clean.
It is necessary. See the knives here, Mr. Lafleur. They are so old. My grandfather before me used these knives. Touch them, if you will.
Well, I think perhaps...
This slab is of finest Italian marble. It is here at this slab that we do our work, Mr. Lafleur. We serve our customers here, at this very place. Can you imagine the meals that have been prepared here?
Well, it's all very nice. Anyway, thank you very much, Spiro. I have to get along now, unfortunately. Things to do before the trip, you know. There's always something that you... Why did you bolt...
There is really nothing to fear, Mr. Lafleur. We are most careful. And after all, you are one of my more faithful lambs.
I don't understand.
He did, of course. At that precise moment, Lafleur understood everything. The reason he was there, and the reason for the long wait. Somehow, Spiro knew of his impending departure, and only when a customer's absence would not be questioned would he be invited to the kitchen. Spiro was right. They were very careful. Oh, Lafleur understood all right, for this was Hamirstan.
Mr. Costain, how nice to see you again. The meal is to your satisfaction. Sometimes the meat is more tender, it has to be said, more pliant. At such times, it takes but little cooking to bring out the best.
Well, you've certainly excelled yourself, Spiro. But then you always do, according to Mr. Lafleur. I expect he'd give anything to be here tonight.
I would like to think that he is here with us, in spirit. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Costain? No? Joining with us in our little repast.
These days, I must admit I've been less inclined to indulge myself. Also, I've turned down every invitation to eat out at some absolutely wonderful new restaurant. Just in case, you understand. I mean, you, at least, will understand. Timothy West was the unfortunate Lafleur. David March, Spiro. Paul Gregory, Costain. And Tim Reynolds, the waiter Marcus. I wonder if he survived Spiro's kitchen, knowing its terrible secret. Specialty of the House was written by Stanley Ellin and dramatized by Colin Hayden Evans. The director was Jerry Jones.